Here, top of the hour, now to another top story that we're on top of today. The trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, teenager charged with shooting 3 people, killing 2 of them in Kenosha during the riots that followed the police shooting of Jacob Blake. The only person Rittenhouse shot who survived is on the stand today. Our Andrea Albers is following the developments in court, and she's in our newsroom now with what we've heard so far in the early testimony from Gabe Grosskreutz.
Peace, love, family. Back out here in location here in Kenosha. I'm just being a observer to the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict in regards to him shooting and killing certain people last year during the Jacob Blake riots. I'm also out here lending support to Justin Blake, dear good friend, dear brother of mine, who is also the uncle of Jacob Blake, who was shot unmercilessly 7 times here in Kenosha, Wisconsin in August of 2020. Out here supporting my brother Justin Blake, the uncle of Jacob Blake. I've been out here supporting this brother ever since the Jacob Blake situation happened last summer. As you can see, we boots on the ground, assessing the situation. Right now, we're right behind the Kenosha courthouse as they're conducting the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. And to show us solidarity, I'm here to still continue to support my brother and the shooting of our brother Jacob Blake. It's like we stand for in the UNIA. One African gets hurt or harmed, we stand to defend any African that gets hurt or harmed. Now, my purpose and my intent out here isn't to start or instigate anything out of the ordinary. I'm just an observer, just observing what's going on, and to also give and lend my input on things as I see fit. Now, in accordance to the verdict, me personally, I think the dude is gonna get off slap on the wrist. I think he'll be found guilty of the gun charge, but as far as the shooting itself, I think they're gonna not acquit him of that. Most people will look at that and say that's unfortunate. Most people will say, well, he's not getting the proper justice that he deserves, and he deserves to be found guilty. And I think you might be right. But brothers like myself, who are race first, and what we think, it is what it is, in my personal opinion. Because to me, this system hasn't changed one bit. The problem is trying to convince black people on a massive scale that the more you continue to beg and insist on forgiveness from this system, the more this system is going to continue to deprive you of the actual justice you think you deserve. This isn't my fight. This isn't my concern. But why am I out here? I'm out here simply because I'm supporting my brother. And even though I may disagree with certain strategies that my brother is displaying, that solidarity is absolutely necessary into ensuring that he and his family gets the proper justice they deserve.
Assalamu alaikum, family. What's up to all my UNIA brothers and sisters? We're still here strong, supporting that Anthony and JoJo, the young men that got murdered, but they pumped across state lines and literally murdered them on the front streets of Kenosha, must go to jail. That would be like a victory, a little victory for the Jacob Blake family. We're going to reapproach the DOJ, make them reopen the case and straighten it out so we get justice for little Jake, we get justice for JoJo, we get justice for Amber. We hold it down here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's just a shot down today on WVON. I did ESPN this morning. We letting them know the nation is coming, it's changing. Big ups to the red, the black, and the green. Do your part. Stand on your square. Raise this red, black, green up. Bring about unity. One Africa, baby, all the way down.
So why is Kenosha the battleground to why so many liberals want complete change of the system? Why? Because they want to set out to do something, but they do not have a complete end game. Wisconsin is one of those states where they're going to do everything in their power to maintain their system and keep it intact. You think they care about Kyle Rittenhouse going to prison? Hell no. They don't care. In fact, they don't mind if he goes to jail. They don't mind if he do a few years. Hell, they don't mind if he do life. Because one thing about these crackers, one thing about this system, they will stay on code and sacrifice a few of theirs in order to maintain their power. From a race first objective point of view, I have no choice but to respect it. Why? Power respects power. And as long as that power continues to remain intact for them, who are you and I to really disagree with it? I just understand it for what it is. So my alternative to what's going on out here and what's happening consistently with our people throughout this country is this. We have to practice and implement some form of self-sufficiency. We have to be able to emphasize power on our own terms. We have to be able to go in our neighborhoods first and foremost and establish them and create them and build them into thriving communities. Only then will other ethnic groups, other races, and other forms of power will recognize you and acknowledge you in a powerful position. And this serves as an example that we need to give justice not only just for Brother Jacob, but for any brother or sister across this land that gets murdered, harmed by not only just police officers, but by anybody that's doing a disservice and injustice to our people, period.
Jacob Blake and Bianca Austin, the auntie to Breonna Taylor, has been with our brother, and they've been all over the country supporting families, supporting cases. In the last 3 months, my brother said they made it hit 15 states. So we're holding it down in Kenosha. Reverend Al, Uncle Jesse, our governors, our elected officials that are supporting from the outside, making sure we can stand strong. We got to change the game. We have to be self-reliant and make them serve us. We don't serve them.
The more you continue to beg and plead and ask for mercy from a system who historically has never gave two damns about you, the more you continue to remain at the mercy of your enemy. And me personally, I have no sympathy for many of our people in that regard. The more you continue to ask them to give you justice, the more they will deny it to you. Why haven't our people grasped that concept? Because our people are fully assimilated into this culture, into this society. And they really wish that they were associated and assimilated with the people who maintain the power. But one thing that other ethnic groups do that for some reason we haven't grasped or began to undergo ourselves is they practice a race-first theology. They practice self-sufficiency. They build, invest, and create their own communities where the political, economic, and social structure of their communities they own, control, and operate. You'll be hard-pressed to go into an Italian neighborhood here in Kenosha and find a black business in that neighborhood. Maybe a barbershop at the most, but who are you paying taxes to and rent to at the end of the day? The same people who own, control, and operate that neighborhood in which you're having your business operating in. So my contention, black people, is that yes, we stand in solidarity. We want justice for our people done wrong, but we got to be realistic about the situation. We have to truly acknowledge that the more we continue to ask and beg for it instead of taking it by force, which most of us ain't ready for. We don't have no military training. We don't own any infrastructures and industries and institutions in this country. So therefore, trying to take it by force, that's an issue that shouldn't even be brought up, at least public. But you must train your mind from being passive aggressive into being militant. And when you train your mind, then you begin to train your body. And once you train your mind and your body, it incorporates that militant spirit that many of us already have, but for some reason hasn't been brought out yet. And when you develop this individually, then you trickle it down to your family, you trickle it down to the people you know, you trickle it down to your community, and ultimately your nation of people are going to have the militant mindset, and they're going to implement change on their own terms.
So everybody be well, stay well, eat well, protect yourself when necessary. Big ups to the red, black, and green 2021, 2022. Let's get that bag, baby. Peace and love all the way down.
And finally, I want to say this. Like my brother said, we're going to remain self-reliant. But that's something that black people across this whole planet have to continue to do. Remain self-reliant. Continue to believe in the philosophies and the practices of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey.
Most Honorable Messiah Garvey, all the way down.
Because when you believe in race first and stand up for your people, that means you're going to stand 10 toes down with your people, regardless of any other situation. So we're here standing for against injustice. We're here to stand for the true principles and rights of our people, regardless of what and who is doing it to our people. So justice for Jacob Blake, justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for Ahmaud Arbery, justice for any brother or sister that has been done wrong by this system and by this devilish system in this country. So in conclusion, what goes on behind me at that courthouse really is no concern of me. As I've stated, I'm just an observer. I'm just interested to see what's going on, that's all. Because at the end of the day, I am fully aware that as long as they continue to uphold and maintain their power and give their people a slap on the wrist, we don't stand a chance until receiving justice from the system who historically has never given it to us and who will not continue to give it to us. All I'm suggesting to us black people is take up the race first mentality. Take up that mantra of the red, black, and green. Utilize knowledge yourself. Love and embrace and cherish who you really are. You are a proud and beautiful people. Why not acknowledge it and put it into practice? Or we're still continuing to beg somebody else to do the work for us. Because that's the biggest issue I see amongst our people. We talk about liberation. We talk about being emancipated. We're talking about owning and controlling something, but we're unwilling to actually do the work. And the more you continuing to refuse to do the work, the more you're going to have incidents like this reverberating over and over again, and you will never get justice, freedom, and equality done because of the simple fact you are continuing to be nonchalant and lazy in your approach and actually doing something about it. I pray that our people learn something and get something out of this video, and let's turn incidents like this into the change within ourselves that we should have been doing a very long time ago. Peace and love. May God bless each and every last one of you. 100.
Because you don't like the idea of white people shooting black people down, do you? And you're ready to do something about it, aren't you? We know you are. And the white man should be thankful that God has given the Honorable Elijah Muhammad the control over his followers that he has, so that they can play it cool, calm, and collected, and leave it in the hands of God.